Hello, guys. I'm back for part 7 of Nightly Chats. The last video actually did really good. Oh, yeah, sorry I didn't upload yesterday. Um, you know, things are as things are in life, and sometimes you can't upload daily, so sorry. But the last video actually did really good in terms of views and like actually I got a like too, which is very surprising. But in terms of like views, it did better than every video except for like the my first video, like the introduction. So I think I might actually because that video wasn't as long as the other ones. So that might be the problem, is that my videos are like way too long for like the average, person. Not average person, but like, and the sea of videos, having a video that's 30 minutes wouldn't really be picked over like a video that's 15 or 16 minutes, then can probably fit more information, more entertainment, and just overall just be like a better video than mine in like 30 minutes. So yeah, and it is also not only just for like logical, no, not just for like on like the whole algorithm side, but like also on me. 15 minutes or 16 or like minutes of talking and drawing actually better for me than like 20 or like sometimes 30 minutes of talking. It's just better for me in general, because then I can focus on the drawing. I don't have to spend a lot of time trying to think about what I have to what I want to talk about. Oh yeah, I think we'll hold this. Okay, so yeah, I'm really thankful you guys enjoyed the last video. I really am, and it shows me that speaking about, basically, instead of speaking about like some topics about the speaking about like topics that do you have to do with a lot, not a lot about me, but like God, my throat. Speaking about um topics that resonate with me, seem like people enjoy, which is very surprising actually, and I'm really happy. Oh yeah, I should probably tell you guys what I'm gonna probably talk about today. I'm gonna talk about my own. I should probably change that title for that video, because it's not like stories of like my personal stories, since well, not realistically, but like I'm not really oh, I'm not really an interesting person. It's like in terms of like my past or like my childhood, right? You see like story time or like just some YouTubers in general having like very interesting past, like how they grew up or like things they went through in their childhood, or like as they just grew up in general. I didn't really do any, well, I didn't really go through anything in my I didn't really go through anything in my childhood. There was like maybe some injuries here and there, but like I feel like every kid goes through like an injury or two. Well, I'll probably save that story for another day. But yeah. So in terms of stories, I mean, like about my writing, I'll probably change the title to like, instead of like my own stories, it'd be my writing instead. But yeah, I want to talk about a specific character of mine, a character I've been trying to write a bit better. And actually, this eye is one of like the designs I'm gonna use for his eye. His name is Faith. He is basically his whole I don't know how to say it, but his whole character personality is that he's a hopeful optimist. Optimus Prime. He's a hopeful optimist. Yes, I think that is how you would say it. Basically, he sees the good in people. He sees the best in people, even if someone doesn't see themselves as good or see themselves as a good person. He tries to see the good, even if like the setting he's currently living in isn't like the best. The setting he's currently living in is like not a dictatorship, but like an authoritarian government kind of, where like they have freedom. Well, they have some freedom. They have some. It is kind of like a dictatorship, yeah. But I say it's more resembling. Well, technically in One Piece, it is a Well, Well, it is technically a dictatorship, but like it's not like, for instance, it's not like as horrible as you could say. I don't know. Well, actually, no. In One Piece, it's pretty bad because if there's one of the celestial dragons pulls up and says, I want that person," you can't really do much because they're a celestial dragon. So unless you want the entire world government on you on your ass, then you can't really do much, can you? Damn. So yeah, I'd say it is a dictatorship on no authoritarian no how do you say that? I Trust me, I can speak normal words when I'm not on camera, but just when on camera I just, for some reason, my tongue decides, I don't know how to say this word. Now you're gonna make yourself a fool in front of anyone who watches the video. Oh yes, God damn it. But an authoritarian government, where the group of like a the in my world, well, in the setting, they're called, I think, One Piece. I forgot what they're called. I think elders too. But basically, in my setting, there's a group of individuals called elders, or I'll probably find a better name, but for now, I'm just calling them elders, right? And basically, they are, no one knows this, only they do, but they've been living on, basically, in the setting for centuries. They've been alive for centuries because they're not just normal people. They are specifically they're like a group, like they were created. And every setting, there's, because I have three stories they take place in the same setting but on different locations, and like different, like entirely different, like um things, right? Things. But elders, there are nine of them. No, yes, yes, there are nine of them. In each story there are three, but in each story, well, no, for the other two stories, the elders are long gone. They are not alive because their purpose when they were created was to just watch humanity and document the history, that in case humanity ever fell, because in my setting there was a long ago war that where basically things happened and humanity almost fell. So they made the elders, or they weren't called the elders, they were called a different name. But their whole purpose was to watch over humanity, not to interfere, not to do anything, just to watch over them, document the history. So if humanity ever fails, that there will at least be something left behind. And they did. They documented history. They documented a ton of things. And when the in the other two settings, the elders passed away because they have a natural lifespan. Not natural lifespan, but they were given this set of time. Like they were given this set of time to document history. If humanity basically showed itself that it is capable of, because they were created after the war. I'm branching off. I'm sorry. I don't know how to form like a not conscious, a consistent like thing. I kind of just like talk one thing and I have to go back, and I talk another thing and I go back, and I talk another thing and I go back. Yeah, sorry. But basically after the war, humanity was basically almost fell, and they were still rocky, right? They were still trying to reconstruct after losing everything. But that's why the elders were created, to in case humanity truly fell, history will be written and there will be some piece left behind. But after humanity got better, after they start showing their, showing that they can handle themselves even through crisis and crisis and crisis, the six elders on the other two settings decide that their time is up. That they documented the needed history, and that they were no longer needed. So they left. They disappeared. No, not disappeared, but they let themselves pass away, because they could live forever. They don't have to pass away. But they let themselves pass away because their time was gone. They were no longer needed. And so, I was talking about faith, and now I'm talking about the elders. Sorry, but three elders. God, my voice, my throat. Sorry. Three elders decided, in the setting where faith and history takes place, decided that their job wasn't done, and that in fact, their job wasn't done at all, and like no, in fact that they had to do more things, and what they did was something that they should have never done, and that was interfere. They made the government, where faith's story takes place in. They made a government. They decided that they saw humanity go through crisis and crisis and crisis, and then go up and down, that they decided humanity will be better with them, as like the at the how do you say, the person at the ship, the helm of a ship? No, they'd be better with the elders at the, basically the drivers, right? The driver of the car. That with the elders' expertise and their history and their knowledge and all these things, that humanity in their setting would be better with them. Of course, this wasn't true. Humanity was better without them, because humanity is humanity. And basically, the council was created, where these three elders now made like a government that, for like a couple, not centuries, but like a good chunk of, I'd say maybe a couple of generations, they ruled this land. Where, yes, again, it is like One Piece, where, yeah, sure, you had some freedom, and like you can live a normal life, but you couldn't really, speak out. You could live a normal life, you can have a normal job, you can have a normal thing, but you couldn't speak out. You couldn't do things that you usually would do in like a real world situation, or just in an average city, where like there were constant patrols to make sure everyone was doing to make sure everyone was doing fine. I'm not drawing. I'm sorry. I'm not. I keep. It is. I just keep forgetting to draw. Even though, again, this whole channel is supposed to be me drawing, and in 7 episodes, I literally only have this, and this. God, like that's like 4 pages, and this is only like a quarter. I just get so engrossed, yeah, in talking, that I kind of forget. And because the way I talk, you don't see it on the camera, but the way I do things is that I have my hands here or off to the side, right? But when I'm talking right now, for instance, I'm looking around my room, just like I don't know, to it's just like a habit of mine where I talk and I look around, and it's just to I genuinely don't know why I do it. It's to like on not I'm trying to explain. Concentrate? Not. It's not really. I could look down at the page and talk, which I should probably make a habit of now. But it's just the habit of just looking around and just talking. I think it's just something I do. I don't know why. Don't know how it started, but it's just something I do. But yeah, I was talking about the faith, but then I kind of rambled on to like the elders. Yeah, so basically they created a government that now is more so like the One Piece government, where yeah, you can live a normal life, sure, but like there are things done in the shadows. There are you can't really speak out. You can't really have, like you don't really have the same freedoms as you would in real life. And so now, there's more, but I'll probably get that. I should probably talk about a little bit more faith. Faith is an optimistic person. He sees the good in people, even when he shouldn't. There are people who don't. Again, like for instance, you see a bad person and you don't think they deserve another chance. Faith sees a person who's been beat down, who's gone through a lot of things, and deserves at least another chance. But and thing is, unlike that, there's two other characters that I currently have. There are Soul and Senko. I'll probably change their names maybe, but I think I like their names so far. Soul and Senko. They are like Senko was like Faith, but then he changes. Long story. Soul is Soul is actually the opposite of Faith, but changes to be more mature, more not optimistic, but more not trust merciful. Faith is the youngest out of the three, and he is naive. Where and it does come back to bite him in the ass later in the story. His mercy, his kindness, his like things that yes, you like it is not weak to be kind. It is not weak to be merciful, but to constantly offer kindness to a person, because this is what happens in the story. He constantly tries to save someone who doesn't want to be saved. He tries to save a character named Desmond again and again, because Desmond is the opposite of Faith, where Faith is basically hope incarnate. Desmond is despair incarnate, and he constantly tries to not fix him, but save him. But Desmond doesn't want to be saved. Desmond, in fact, wants to destroy Faith and his entire system. And again, later in the story, because Faith always gives mercy, always gives kindness to Desmond, who at this point doesn't deserve it after refusing him again and again and again and again, it comes back to bite him in the ass. I'll probably talk about another one, but for now, I think this is a good place to end it off. I know it is abrupt. I know it's a little, out of nowhere, but I don't want to talk for long periods of time. I'll like, especially right now, where if I do, I want to keep things a little bit short, but not too short. So like 20 minutes, right? So like this, or how to say it? I don't know, but so like if I keep things short, it helps me not basically burn out as much, because I think that is the reason why I took like a 2 day break, was because talking about basically everything I had just made me feel like I had nothing left. So now I'm just talking, and then when I think it's good, I'll cut it off. So yeah, I only drew like this and then this too. So like not good. But if you stuck by to the end, thank you. I really do appreciate you for sticking by to watching the video. And if you want to stick around, maybe drop a like or a comment or maybe subscribe even. Um, thank you for 3 subscribers. It is, yeah, you might think, oh, that's not a lot. But to me, it is. That 3 people saw my content and thought, wow, this person's either fun, maybe, or maybe they just like how like my thoughts or whatever. But 3 people subscribe, and to me, that's everything. That shows that I'm doing good. But yeah, thank you for sticking by. I already said that. Sorry. Have a good afternoon. No. Oh, whoa. No, no, no. Good morning, a good afternoon, a good evening, a good night, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, goodbye.